It's important to know the weight of your vehicle, and so today we are going to be checking that out. If you've never weighed your vehicle before, or if you've weighed it and you just need to do it again, or you haven't used a cat scale before, we're going to actually show you two different methods of weighing your vehicle. Hey everyone, this is David with Tigner Adventures, and our little cat Tansy and my wife Ninette. We travel full-time in our motorhome, and today we are going to be checking out the weight on our motorhome. We've weighed it several times over the years, and we've been making modifications and things. Like in my past videos, I took out my generator, I've taken off my 2 AC units on the roof, so I want to see what my weight is now. And we're going to talk about two different weight systems. So the smart weight system that Excapees uses, and also the cat scales. Cat scales can be found at most Flying J's and Love's truck stops. So we are currently at a truck stop right now, and we are going to use their cat scales. So the first thing I want to do is explain how it actually works. So here is the cat scales, and we actually enter at that end down there, and we drive through, and we're going to actually drive all the way up here to the front. Sorry for the wind. So you can see this is where we want to get to, is that little instruction sign right there. Now this scale is broken up into three sections. It's got this front section, and then a yellow line, and then a middle section, and then another yellow line, and then the long section. So we want to get each one of our main weight areas, front, back, and then our toad is going to be on the very back one as we pull in here. So I'm driving up on the scales here, and you want to go fairly slow, just, you know, not making jerky motions on it, and get yourself all lined up here. And then I'm going to get out and I'm going to check, make sure that I'm in each one of those little spots that's going to be weighted, so that I can get you know, the correct weights in each area. Alright, so you can see the front wheels are on that front pad, my back wheels and tag are in the middle pad, and my car toad is there on the back. Now we're going to call into the service.
First way relay?
Vehicle 1, it's an RV.
Is it private?
Yes.
Alrighty, bring in whatever information you need to put on the scale ticket, okay?
Alright, thank you. Okay, now we just pull out nice and easy, and make sure that we don't cut the corners too much and hit the blockades. And then we just going to pull over to the side of the parking lot somewhere, wherever you can get a spot to park, and you park and then go inside and get your ticket. So this is what your ticket looks like, and if you look here, the main thing that we're interested in is this little section right here. And so here's the three different pads. You've got your steering axle, drive axle, they call it a trailer axle, but that's in our case a toad. In your case, if you have a fifth wheel, then it would be the front of your truck, and then the drive axle of your truck, and then your trailer or bumper pull or whatever you have would be on that third pad. There's basically three things you've got to look at on your vehicle, and these are the little kind of like acronyms or whatever, the things. It's the gross axle weight, and the gross vehicle weight, and the gross combined weight. So those are the things that you need to be able to break out of this thing. And so if you look at my little sheet here, this is actually from my motorhome, and this was tagged on our actual couch before we got rid of our couch and put in some recliners. And so if you notice here, it says my gross vehicle weight is supposed to be 19,400. My gross axle weight for the front is 6,000. My gross axle weight for the rear is 11,000 pounds. And then in my particular case, they've added a tag axle, and that gross axle weight is 5,300 pounds. Interesting enough, if you add all that together, that comes out to 22,300 is what my actual axles are rated for. However, in the case of my rig, they only rated the rig for 19,400. And when I asked the people that do weighing about that, they said on older rigs they used to take the total weight of all the axles what the rig could carry, and then they would factor in a safety percentage, and then they would say this is what we're going to rate this vehicle at. But you need to look at yours and kind of see where that's at. So in the case of ours, if we look back at this figure that we've got, we were at 5,620 pounds for our steering axle. So that's our front. Our front axle is rated for 6,000 pounds. So we're under that. Our drive axle in our case is 11,000 pounds, and then the tag is 5,300. So we're actually, our drive axle assembly is rated for 16,300 pounds, and we're only at 14,820. However, if we add the 5,620 and the 14,820 together, we come out as 20,440. So in the sense of what the vehicle, what the stamp on the thing says, we're actually just a little bit over 1,000 pounds too heavy, is what that's saying. And then our overall trailer and everything on ours is 24,600. So if you look on this sheet from Excapees, it says that our gross vehicle weight is 19,400 and our gross combined weight is 24,400. The way they came up with the gross combined weight is by adding what it was rated for towing, which was 5,000 pounds. So they added the 5 onto the 19,400 and said that overall we can only do 24,400. And if you remember what it said on the CAT scale, it said 24,600. So right now we are 200 pounds overweight. Now, some of the things that actually contribute to those weights is the weight of your water. My tank is full, and my propane I just filled up, and I just filled up my gas. So everything's full, and I'm weighing out. So if you look at water, my tank's 75 gallons of water at 8 pounds. That's 600 pounds just for water. And my batteries are lead acid, and those weigh almost 400 pounds. And so the thing here is that, each thing that we add takes up more weight on the rig. And some things we can control and some we can't. For example, we could not carry as much water when we're driving somewhere, and then just before we're going to boondock or something like that, we could fill up water. That helps minimize the weight. However, we don't want to carry less gas. We still want to carry as much gas as we can. So there's some things that we can control, and then there's others that we cannot. But with that said, it looks like we need to go on a diet, and we still need to figure out where to get rid of 1,000 pounds. So I guess it's just like in real life, in dieting. You diet and diet, and nothing ever changes. Well, it seems to be the same with our rig. So another weight system that we've used that works out really well is the Smart Waste system. We had this done back in 2020. This was by the Excapees RV Club. They offered this service, and in that particular case, if you look, I have these individual axles on my rig, and I didn't actually videotape this at the time, so I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. Down here on the bottom of this paper, what they do is they actually weigh out each individual tire or each individual side axle of the coach. And so I've got all these figures in here, and then they figure that all out and come up with the totals. And so one of the things they pointed out to me, for example, is like if you look on my front, my passenger side is 2425, but my driver's side is 2850. So I guess I weigh more than Ninette does on the passenger side. And then also the same thing goes on her rear axle. So on her rear, everything on the right side doesn't weigh as much as the left side. And the guy says, "Do you know why that is?" And I looked at him and I says, "I have no idea why." And he goes, "Well, I don't know. It's your coach. What did you put on that side?" So it was kind of funny. But anyway, The left side of our coach does weigh more, and what we have on that side is we have automatic recliner, that we've added in that is fairly heavy, and we have 6 lead acid batteries where before it only used to have 1. So those are things that help you give you information so that you can balance out your rig and try to get it so it goes down the road a little bit more level. So we've now done the weighing of the vehicle. The next thing that we need to do is to check on the height of the vehicle. So we've taken our AC units off our roof, so I want to see what our new height is. Excapees said that our height was 11 feet 3 inches, and so I want to check that with these new fans and see what those are set up as. Alright, so I'll tell you, it's kind of windy today, so I have to keep kind of hiding from the wind, trying to not get so much wind noise in here for you. But anyway, we have finished, and so now we know the weight of our vehicle, and we also know that our height is still basically 11.3. So once you've done that, then it's important to remember 11.3 in my case, all right? Or if I don't have a good memory, not saying anything there, but anyway, then it's good to write it on a note and put it above your, or at least someplace where you can see it when you're driving, so that as you're coming up to those low bridges and things, that you can actually glance at it, or for sure know that you're going to make it through there. We've had a couple times that were a little bit scary, and we actually made it, but it was like, oh dear, when it says it's 11.3, you're hoping that they're guessing low, not high. so anyway, so that finishes this video. I'm hoping that this will help you, because I think the number one thing that people don't understand is how much weight is important in your rig. So my rig, for 25,000 pounds, it's rated at, the total braking system is rated at 25,000 pounds. So if I'm over that, then it's a safety issue, right? And so the same thing with, it's a safety issue if you are overweight with your tires. So you need to make sure that you give this weight to your tire people when you're buying new tires, so that they can give you the tire that's rated for that weight, and then get you set up with the right amount of air pressure for that tire, so you don't have blowouts. If you just do these simple little maintenance tips, it really makes your life a lot nicer on the highway, because you don't have any worries about that. So I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully you can go out and get your vehicle weighed. If you've never weighed it before, then I just urge you to really do that. And it's really a simple process. And the individuals at the scale places, at the truck stops, they're super nice. So I have never ran into a problem. The cost here was $12. Most places it's going to either be somewhere between $11 and $15 to get your vehicle weighed. So it's well worth the extra expense. And in this case, $11-12, that's way cheaper than getting the Excapees one done. I mean, I think the Excapees, they do a lot more thorough job, and they do a lot of history. They look up things for you. They do a lot of stuff, and they're great resource to to make sure that you're doing everything correct. But it is kind of expensive at $60 or whatever it was, $65. This is pretty cheap, and you can just keep doing spot checks. Like we've been doing spot checks all along, and we keep thinking that we're getting rid of stuff, and then apparently we're not doing a real good job. And these scales are certified, so I guess I can't blame the scale. So somehow we keep accumulating things, and we keep having just have to have more yard sales, I guess. So anyway, that does it for today. Hope this was helpful, and we'll just say see you down the road, and hopefully it'll be on one of our next videos. So take care, and for sure, be safe out there.